Thursday, Alberto Gonzales testified before the Senate, universally panned as a horrible performance. He said, I don't know, or I can't remember, I can't recall. Do we have a number?
71 times.
Is that right? 71 times. He couldn't remember things like meeting with the president and talking about 3 U.S. attorneys particularly.
And the most damning was that he couldn't remember why he fired a lot of these prosecutors or the meeting that he fired them at, but he guaranteed us that the firings were for proper reasons, even though he couldn't remember what those reasons were.
One, he couldn't remember what those reasons were, and then he didn't, research it, apparently, which seems odd considering that he knew he was going to testify. It was a horrible performance. You can't find Republican senators ever, to a man, think it was a horrible performance. So naturally, George Bush must have also thought it was a horrible performance.
The Attorney General went up and gave a very candid assessment and answered every question he could possibly answer, honestly answer, in a way that increased my confidence in his ability to do the job.
There you go.
It had increased my confidence in his ability to do the job. I mean, dude, if you know what, come out and say, hey, listen, I don't give a damn what anybody says. Okay, I'm going to keep the guy. I like the guy. Hey, he's my buddy. Known him all my life. In Texas, he's protected my rear end for a long time. I'm going to keep him. But don't come out here and tell us that because when you say that his horrible performance in front of the Senate, where even hard right-wingers like Jeff Sessions of Alabama went after him, when you say that increased your confidence in him, see, what you don't get is that's why your poll numbers are horrible, because that decreases our confidence in you. Because when you look at that, and we all look at it, and we got eyes and we got ears, and we say, wow, that went terribly, and you went and you go in there and you say, boy, that was the best thing I've ever seen, then we think, well, we can't trust you, because obviously you don't have any ability to judge things accurately. I mean, you're driving yourself on the ground. So my question then becomes is why? Why are they doing this? The way the political calculation changed is, I think in the beginning I was saying, I think Gonzales is done, because if they don't fire him, the only other people left are Rove and Bush, right? Whereas Ben is now saying they don't think that the scandal is going to stop even if they do fire Gonzales. So that means if they fire Gonzales, the only people left are Rove and Bush.
Right.
So it's the same argument, but it takes a different twist if you think the scandal isn't going to stop if you fire Gonzales. So apparently they've now made the calculation that it's not going to stop. And Rove is a guy, I mean, even more so than Bush, who knows his own self-interest and guards it very jealously. So, who does Bush go to for advice? He goes to Rove because he doesn't give a damn about policy. He just cares about politics. So he's like, Rove, what do you think we should do about politics? And what does Rove say to him? Rove says, whatever you do, don't fire Gonzales. Why? Because he knows that if he fires Gonzales, who's next on the chopping block? Rove.
Right.
And at all costs, whether it's the Republican Party, or whether it's the Bush administration, whether it's all their policies, Rove is going to protect himself first and foremost. I mean, we shared it with you on Friday's show. Rove was out there saying, oh yeah, I wish the Iraq War never existed. So he's given up on all the policies anyway. He doesn't give a damn. He never cared, right? Mm-hmm. All he cared about is the politics and himself. So now he's saying, I got to protect myself at all costs. Keep Gonzales in there. The second part of it is, there is a second reason. Now, the journalists can't mention it because there's no smoking gun, so they're scared to imply something that they can't prove. And I get it. They're journalists. That makes sense. People with common sense know what the other reason is. It's that Gonzales is the guy holding the keys of the Justice Department. If you remove him and you put somebody in there whose job is not to protect Bush, you could find things at the Justice Department that are hideously wrong.